Today, we're in Lakeland, Florida, a city conveniently located almost exactly between Tampa and Orlando, which basically means no matter which direction you go, you're eventually going to end up sitting in traffic. Lakeland was incorporated back in the 1800s, and as the incredibly creative name suggests, there are a lot of lakes here. Dozens of them, in fact. The city grew up around the railroad, agriculture, and phosphate mining, and eventually became home to Publix. So if you've ever enjoyed the financially irresponsible decision of buying a pub sub when you're only went in for milk, you can thank Lakeland for that. But something I honestly wasn't expecting was downtown Lakeland. There's a surprising amount of art throughout the city. Murals, sculptures, painted walls, public installations mixed in between the other buildings. It gives downtown a lot more personality than you'd expect, especially if your only experience in Lakeland is flying past the exits at night 4. It's one of those things you don't really appreciate until you actually get off the main roads and walk around for a little while. It's also home to Joker Merchant Stadium, where the Detroit Tigers have held spring training for generations. And you got Frank Lloyd Wright architecture over at Florida Southern College. Supposedly one of the largest collections of his work anywhere in the world. So Lakeland has history, it has architecture, it has baseball, it has beautiful lakes. And because this is Florida, it also has an impressive collection of people doing 93 miles an hour on I-4 with a temp tag and absolutely no intention of letting you merge. Which brings us to cars. And today we're checking out my nephew's BMW F30 328i. Now, the F30 came along in the early 2010s as a replacement for the E93 series, and depending on which BMW enthusiast you ask, this was either the beginning of the modern 3 Series or the exact moment BMW ruined everything. Either way, this one is here, it belongs to my nephew, and today we're going to take a closer look at it. So let's see what we're working with. And this is Javier, my nephew. Behind that welcoming expression and smoldering intensity is a fellow car enthusiast. Let's check out his N20 powered ride.
So here we have my nephew's 2013 F30 N20 BMW 3 Series. Despite all its issues that it's notorious for, he's had a great run with it, 120,000 miles. He got it with like 60,000 miles, and basically like 5 years ago I helped him mod it and went straight into bolt-ons and a boot mode tune and an XHP stage 3, and it's been reliable ever since despite his relentless beating. Although the sun has beaten it more than anything else, but the car still runs really nice, and we'll take it for a little drive here in a little while and get some interior sounds and things like that and how it feels, some draggy runs and all that good stuff. So the car has an FTP charge pipe, FTP boost pipe. It also has an MST intake with the shroud. It has an intercooler. And also, we can't remember what brand it was, it has a larger turbo inlet, stock turbo still. Even here in Florida weather, just the XHP tune and the boot mode, stock maps that come on the app, it knocked almost a second and a half off. Give or take some fluctuation and inconsistency in the launching, right? The car's quicker than you think it is. It surprised me how well responded to the most basic mods. Only thing left to do now is maybe some suspension work, and as you can see, it's got an aftermarket M4 style front bumper. The paint was done pretty well. The sun has kind of started to show the differences in color, but it's been doing pretty good. Got some aftermarket headlights that came with the car when he had it. It's got the powder coated cross braces in the front, maybe you can see through the front. So the intercooler you can see through the front, which is pretty cool. Sounds nice, has that nice sound we all like, right? The interior is immaculate. He's kept that perfect. It helps that he has no kids or anything like that, so the ability to keep the interior clean, I mean, no seat shows anywhere. No pun intended. The back seats are even better because there's literally, I don't think anyone's ever sat in the back once in his ownership anyway. It's got some aftermarket carbon fiber trims everywhere. The back seat arm handles are starting to show that typical BMW sticky door handle, but otherwise it's clean. The sun has finally taken its toll on the tent, but the car is otherwise immaculate. As for the wheels, they're 18 inches. They don't have curb rash, although, I mean, they have some curb rash, but they were powder coated black, so now some of it's starting to peel, and he wants to go back to the stock silver color, so I think that would be a better choice. Stock brakes, stock suspension, no sway bars. Despite that, it runs pretty good. Aftermarket duckbill spoiler that you'll see here, that the side that the sun doesn't hit still looks nice and shiny, and the side that it does hit is completely faded. Even the paint on the badging is faded. Perfect opportunity to debadge it. It's got some mirror caps, carbon fiber, also the sun destroyed them. And I almost forgot, it's got a VRSF catless downpipe, which is pretty much responsible for all the turbo sounds you hear. It goes straight into the stock muffler, but it's got some piping, some kind of rigged up exhaust system that he's planning to buy, something a little more either prefabricated or just get a custom one made all the way through. It's jointed with a clamp in the middle, so it kind of adds to a little vibration. Other than that, car runs good, drives good, balances well, drives straight. Aftermarket Android radio adds a little bit of modernness to the car. See my Draggy placed on top of his car there. Everything else is mainly stock. The car physically is as is the way he got it, with the exception that we put all the performance mods on it. Other than that, it was all completely stock.
Now, before we go into the car and take a ride, let's listen to it a little bit from the outside.
So we're about to take a little trip to Mexico, as the kids say online, you know. Although I did notice there is a place called Mexico in Rochester. So in drive, on the XHP Stage 3 tune we used, we wanted it to leave it drive stock. So in drive, it drives as normal. And when you put it, we didn't change any settings. We wanted it to stay completely as OE in drive. And when you put it in Sport or Sport Plus, you know, max shifting, increased pressure on 3 and 6, although it doesn't really need it. It's not making that much power for torque to make it slip. Excuse me as I'm driving around this parking lot. I have no idea how to get out. We kind of just drove around to try to find a place to record in peace without bothering anyone and being too belligerent or disruptive to society. Sounds pretty good from the inside. It's got the rev match. There's an Alfa Romeo behind us, which I wasn't trying to tease, but I think he thinks I was trying to tease him, but luckily I'm not trying to. I was trying to catch some of the sounds of the car. I feel like my nephew has warrants in 23 counties across Florida, so he can't be on camera. I really hope it catches it. How have you liked this car? How long you had it now? Like 4 years, 5 years? That one video, pretty sure that video was 2021. I know, but like I think it's 2021. What plans would you want to do to the car next? I mean, if it were me, you know, wheel, suspension, custom tune, maybe a bigger turbo.
That'll be nice.
I know you want to get the exhaust like officially taken care of, because right now it's kind of like a Frankenstein exhaust, right? Like stock muffler, but with just some pipes and a catless downpipe, right? So it's got an okay sound despite the Frankensteinness of it. This car drives nice. That it doesn't drone. I mean, there's a little bit of buzz under it. That's because it's not clamped all the way either, right? The exhaust, right? Yeah. Custom exhaust, like just have somebody slap together, you know, a 2.5-inch pipe, or would you buy something prefabricated?
I probably custom.
Have you looked at any wheels, or just haven't thought about it, or haven't had the devil on your shoulder, aka myself? A cool feature this car has for a big guy like me that I underappreciate it. I never knew he had this feature the whole time I've been in this family with him having this car, is that it has adjustable side bolsters, and for a guy who eats a lot of cheesesteaks, it's a very useful feature. It's funny, Doug DeMiro complains a lot of the BMW signal stock. I shared his frustration initially, because if you're testing cars, I can see how it's annoying, but after having my 5 Series and then this car, I mean, it's not that serious. You get used to it in like, I don't know, 10 minutes of ownership. Tap it softly for a quick 3, press it down completely once for a permanent click. It still auto-corrects and auto-stops the way any other car does. It's just throws you off when you come from another car, because you hit it and it bounces back to center and that makes you think that it didn't take. But once you own the car for a few minutes, it's no big deal. Especially if you're a perpetual BMW owner, like you go from one Beamer to the next, then it's probably not even something you think about. But I can see how someone like Dr. Mero, who reviews several cars, would probably find that annoying.
Here's some of my leftover clips while I talk about what we're going to do with Draggy. We did some real world testing of how the car's affected after each of the tunes. First is 100% stock, then is stage 193 on XHP stage 3, and then is E30 and XHP stage 3, all stock otherwise. You'll enjoy how big the jumps were between tunes. .7 at 94 miles an hour, completely stopped. Seven tenths off, even with that DA with those two tunes.
All right. Okay.
Knocked 1.2 seconds off and gained 6 miles an hour with just 2 flashes. Keep in mind, this is the runs that we did before we put any of the bolt-ons on or the intercooler or the downpipe. I couldn't do new runs because my Draggy battery was swollen. I didn't even notice that until I tried to use it, and it died in like 20 seconds, no matter how long I charged it. I'll replace it and we'll get the bolt-on runs, which should be a nice improvement given what we already did. As usual, thanks for watching, and please consider liking, subscribing, and even commenting.